Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to use Excel's Goal Seek tool to better model out different problems. Getting right into it, we have our first example where a company's profit is determined by their sales price minus the cost, and then that number times the amount of units they sell. So in this example, this company sold 1,000 units at a $38 profit margin, 50 minus 12, for a total profit of $38,000. But let's say next year we wanted our profit to go up from $38,000 to $50,000. Let's also assume we are not changing our sales price and our cost hasn't changed either. This means we're looking to find out how many units we need to sell to achieve a $50,000 profit. And the old way I used to tackle problems like this is I would test out, okay, what if we bumped it up to 11,000? We're getting closer, 41,800. Maybe 15,000 units. Now we're way too far ahead. We have to go down to 13,000 and we're closer, but we're not quite there. The goal seek function will get you the number you want without having to test out a million different options. So what we have to do is we have to click into cell E3, the profit amount, and then if we go up to the data tab and then on the right, the what if analysis drop down, we can click on that and then click Goal Seek. And this Goal Seek box will pop up. So for this example, we want to set cell E3 profit to 50,000. So just type in 50,000. And we want to do this by changing the amount of units sold. So by changing cell B3. We hit OK. And then you see that 1,316 units sold will be the amount we need to sell to reach a profit of 50,000. Now to hammer this home, we will do a second example where we want to know what sales price do we need to achieve a $50,000 profit. So very similar, except in this example, the cost and the amount of units sold stay the same, and we want to know what to set our sales price to. So again, we will click in cell E3, the profit, and under what if analysis, select goal seek. So we are setting cell E3 again to 50,000, but this time by changing cell C3. And if we hit OK, you see that we need to set our sales price from 50 to 62. This will be enough to increase our profit from 38,000 to 50,000. Now, there are many other different ways in which you can use Goal Seek, so let's look at one more example that's a little bit different from these first two. If we click on our third example, we want to know what grade we need on our final exam to receive an A- in the class, a 90. So on our first three exams, we got a 94, an 83, and an 86, and you can see our average is just averaging out all of these scores. So for the sake of this example, we're assuming that every exam is weighted the same, 25% of the grade for the class. This won't always be the case, so if you're doing this for a class of your own, make sure that you weigh each exam properly. But for this example, we want a 90 in the class, and you can see we have an 87.67 going into the final exam. So I don't know about you, but if I am the student in this situation, I want to know what grade I need on that final exam. So we're going to click into this cell C16, the average. And again, we go to what if analysis, goal seek. And we are setting cell C16 to 90%. And to do that, we have to type in 0.9 because formatted as a percentage, 0.9 is 90%. And we will be changing cell C15, that fourth and final exam. And if we hit OK, it'll do its calculations. And you can see that we will need a 97 on the final exam in order to go up from a B+ to an A- in the class. And that's it. There isn't too much to goal seek. It's a very useful tool. And when dealing with much larger figures, could save you a lot of time in a situation like this. So I hope that helped you out. If it did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet already. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.